With less than a month away from the MAC championships, Ball State and Bowling Green meet today in Worthen Arena. College gymnastics, and it's next on ESPN3. And with that, we welcome you inside this beautiful arena on the campus of Ball State University. Today, Bowling Green is in town for Ball State Senior Day. Hello, everybody. Alongside former Ball State gymnast Megan Peters and Morgan Landis, Tyler Bradfield on hand. Two Mid-American Conference teams in action today, and both have posted some of their best scores in recent memory.
Yes, both teams are doing well this season. Bowling Green has a 195 plus for the last few meets, and then Ball State has a 194 plus for the last few meets.
Both teams are also coming off of a loss, so they're looking to get their first conference win here today.
Both teams have all-MAC gymnasts. For Bowling Green, Alyssa Nocella will compete in the all-around today in all 4 events.
Alyssa Nocella has been a regional qualifier for the NCAA for 3 years, also has been a MAC Gymnast of the Week several times. She's a senior leader for this Bowling Green team, so I look for her to stand out today.
And for Ball State, Megan, your former teammate, Denasia Christian.
Yes, Denasia is a great teammate, a great leader, and she has just recently posted 9975 on vault, which is a career high, and she is the gymnast to watch from Ball State today.
Today it is Ball State Senior Day. A look at our Impact gymnasts. Rotation 1 is coming up next. College gymnastics, and it's on ESPN3. Two Mid-American Conference teams in action today, and both of them looking for their first conference win. Ball State 0-5, Bowling Green 0-3 inside the site of the MAC Championships, Worthen Arena on Ball State University's campus. Let's go ahead and meet our head coaches for both teams. First off, Bowling Green, in her 9th season, Carrie Turner has coached 5 MAC champions and 9 NCAA qualifiers since her time in Bowling Green. Also received the MAC Coach of the Year in 2013, has certainly done an exceptional job with the program for the Bowling Green Falcons. Ball State, on the other hand, Joanna Salim, in her 3rd season for Ball State, has tried to turn around this program, and under her watch, the team has earned their highest GPA in program history. Also led Ball State's to wins over Iowa in 2014, where she spent one of her 3 stops prior to arriving at Ball State. In rotation 1, Ball State on vault, Bowling Green on bars. Ball State working in Olympic order with leading off on vault, Shelby Arms. Shelby Arms, a junior out of Jeffersonville, Indiana. Today's Senior Day as they honor the 5 seniors for Ball State.
Good. That was a great vault. She did a full on to the table and then a tuck off. That was a great landing. Shelby worked very hard all year to get that vault nailed down. That vault is now 10-0, whereas a Yurchenko half and a Yurchenko full are a 9.95 start value. So she's the only 10-0 start on Ball State's vault team.
It's a completely different vault than last year for Shelby Arms. This is Laura Mitchell leading off on bars for Bowling Green.
Good build a handstand. Little soul circle around. Looking for nice tight lines and handstands. Big releases. That was a good Tkachev. And a nice stuck landing. She had a little bit of a hop, but a great routine.
I look for Laura Mitchell to also excel today in everything that she does, because last time when she came out here against Ball State, she also received the MAC Specialist of the Week for her performance against Ball State.
Had a career high on bars the last time these two teams met up, did Mitchell, a 9.850. Second gymnast for Ball State on the vault. This is Kayla Beckler.
And from Kayla, we'll be looking for a Yurchenko full.
Beckler competing on 3 events today, vault, bars, and beam. She's a 3-time all-around state champion back in Ohio, where she's originally from, Cincinnati. 2009, 2010, and 2012.
She was also well equipped last year. She performed all around against Bowling Green the last time they met.
She's battling maybe a little bit of an injury, so that's why we are not seeing her fully on all 4 events this year, but she is coming back nice and strong and staying healthy and providing for the team where she can. The judges seem to be having some trouble determining what exactly to score Shelby's vault. Shelby's vault is new and isn't seen very often, so it is kind of up to the judges to determine if she did a complete full onto the table or if she did a 3/4, and depending on what they think she did, the score can be different. So that's why it seems to be taking a little bit longer before we see Kayla go on her vault.
Our 4 judges today, Vicky Hoff, our meet referee. Mitchell on bars, the previous routine before Beckler set to perform on the vault. The 9.625 for Bowling Green. The judges can move at their discrepancy and at their pace.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing some good energy from our parents today, and they are ready to see Kayla's vault and are eagerly awaiting Shelby's score for vault. It's going to be a good meet today.
With the tradition of the chirp with the 3 feathers of the fingers, hold it up. This is the first year Ball State has competed gymnastics inside Worthen Arena. Will also serve as the site of the MAC championships. So for Bowling Green and other conference teams that travel to Ball State, we'll have 2 meets inside of Worthen Arena this year. Beckler on vault.
Good. That was a great Yurchenko full with a little hop backwards. But other than that, it was a great vault. That hop could be taken for maybe 1/10 to possibly 3/10, depending on how big and how picky the judges kind of want to be.
Ganawicha on bars for Bowling Green, a sophomore out of Rochester Hills, Michigan, competing on vault and bars today for Bowling Green.
Oh, she was a little over on her handstand. So since she dismounted the bar there, that will be 5/10 off of her routine. It counts as a fall. And the gymnasts have 30 seconds to re-chalk up and recompose themselves before getting back on the bar.
Last year as a freshman, Ganawicha did not compete. In her sophomore year this season, coming off a 9.750, fifth on the team on bars in her last meet a week ago at Kent State.
Another Tkachev from Bowling Green. And that is a straddle back to handstand. Now setting up for the dismount out of a blind full. Double back with a slight hop. All around a pretty good routine. Good finish. And since she fell so early in her routine, she had to come back and do the whole routine over and still count for that fall. So she had to hope that she wouldn't miss the other big skills in her routine.
Sophomore Jordan Penny on vault nearly midway through rotation 1 with the third gymnast for Ball State. 6 to compete.
We have a nice high Yurchenko full from Jordan Penny, and she took 2 hops backwards. So that could be up to 3 to 4/10.
Jordan Penny has also been battling a back injury for quite a while. She's come back this season and really has just exploded and shown that she deserves to be out there on the floor.
Yes, she really has. I remember halfway through the season last year, she had to be taken out, and that was very hard for her to do.
Penny competing on 3 events today, vault, bars, and beam. On to Rachel Rice, the third gymnast on bars for Bowling Green. Rice, a junior out of Florida. Ganawicha, the gymnast right before Rice with a 9.25 on bars to set the tone for Rice.
Nice hit handstand. Blind full into a very high ginger, which is really good. That's what the judges will look for in their release moves. Good handstand leading into her dismount. And a good stuck landing.
One more look at the dismount by Rice, the junior for Bowling Green at the midway point of rotation 1. Ball State on the vault, Bowling Green on the bars. Erin Patchy for Ball State on vault.
She's going to do a Yurchenko full and have a slight hop backwards. So again, that can be about 3/10. She recently had battled a plantar fascia strain in her foot and has been coming back. So this is about her 3rd meet back from an injury this season, and she's doing great.
We'll see Patchy on both. We just saw her on vault. We'll also see her on floor. Caitlin Menzione, the freshman here for this Ball State team, competed on vault the last couple of meets, and Erin Patchy has come back and kind of slid in there and has tried to prove her point on why she should be on vault.
Mm-hmm. And she's done a great job at doing just that.
Back on bars with Bowling Green, Lauren Feely. As Rice with a 9.8. The performance right before Feely.
It's a clear hip to handstand. Into a ginger, slightly bent legs. Judges can take about a 10th or so for bent legs or a leg separation. Getting ready for a dismount, which is a full into a nice stuck landing. That was a great routine for Bowling Green.
Bowling Green won the bars last year when these two teams met up in Bowling Green with a team score of 49. It's one of 3 events they won, going on to win the meet with a plus 195 score. Ball State on vault, Sarah Ebeyer.
She is going to do a Yurchenko half. Oh, with a very nice landing, only a little hop. Sarah has been really battling those landings recently, and Ball State's honestly had some trouble with it, and they've worked very hard in the gym, and this is a great vault for Sarah. Very exciting.
Ebeyer had a career high in their last meet at Northern Illinois with a 9.875, placing second on the team. As a team, vault has really established one of the better events for Ball State. A 49.1 against Northern Illinois, matched a school record in their last outing. Back on bars for Bowling Green, Ellingbo, the 5th gymnast, with just 2 remaining in rotation 1.
Ellingbo, also one of the 2 seniors on this team. Very young team for Bowling Green, and I talked a little bit earlier to the coach, and she said Ellingbo and Nocella have really helped lead this team to a couple victories this year.
Nice handstand. Leading into a pike Jaeger that leads straight into a bail or an overshoot. All of those skills connected give her bonus towards her 10-0 start value. That was with a double layout with a full twist at the end as a dismount with a great landing. Another superb routine for Bowling Green.
So far, so good for Bowling Green on the bars.
Ellingbo in their last meet with a 9.875 on bars. That set a new career high for her.
Is Denacia Christian.
This is the anchor on vault, Denacia Christian, senior out of Roanoke City, Virginia. Celebrating her senior day here in Worthen Arena.
Just doing a Yurchenko half right here with another great landing. She had a season high of a 9.975 last weekend, and this vault is only worth a 9.95 now. It was devalued from the 10-0 start value, so she actually scored higher than what the vault is worth last weekend. And that was a great stuck landing for Denacia.
The people you saw in the stands, her parents, this is the first meet they have ever been to since Denacia became a college gymnast. They made the 7.5-hour trip from Roanoke City, Virginia for Denacia's senior meet.
Family support is a big part of gymnastics. I know my parents have been around for all of my past meets, and Denacia is very excited to have her parents here for her meet today.
Megan was a 3-year teammate of Denacia Christian, competing the past 3 years for Ball State. The anchor on bars for Bowling Green, Alyssa Nocella, the impact gymnast to watch for the Falcons.
Another pike Jaeger to a bail. Getting ready for her dismount. With a nice double layout with a slight hop. That is a great bar set for Bowling Green. It looks like they will be able to drop that early fall that they had in their lineup, which will be very helpful in their overall bar score.
On the vault for Ball State is Jayla Washington.
And this is Jayla Washington for exhibition on vault, and she is going to do a Yurchenko half with a slight hop to the side, but regardless, a great vault.
Teams can elect to put gymnasts in an exhibition routine. It would follow all of the 6 gymnasts that will compete for scores. They will keep the top 5 scores. Exhibition, then a chance for coaches to evaluate or move girls back into the lineup for a more consistent basis. As that was Washington with 1 exhibition routine for Ball State.
And both her and Claire Collins are being evaluated to see who could possibly either fill a spot if needed or be maybe a backup for Mac, which is just a couple weekends away.
This is Collins progressing back into lineup spots. Had to have her foot reconstructed last year. Missed a year due to injury.
She worked very hard all season last year to get back to being competition ready, and she worked all summer, and now she's competing an exhibition on vault, and I think she was in lineup last weekend, and she will be on floor for Ball State as well. Yurchenko full here. A little low on her landing with her chest, but other than that, it was a great vault. We'll look forward to seeing Claire again on floor.
She will fill the 3 spot for Ball State on floor in rotation 4. As that concludes rotation 1 between Ball State and Bowling Green. 2 career high scores for Ball State's Christian and Ebeyer on vault. Rotation 2 is coming up next. Ball State on bars, Bowling Green on vault.
Hey, we're ahead.
Hey, Connor. What was this? Ball State's vault 48.95. Okay, yep, gotcha. 3.5 tenths.
So we are ahead by .025. Do we know what Denasia got on her vault?
He does.
Okay.
What did? Huh?
Yep. BG coach with Morgan. Okay, what's she gonna say? Okay.
Wow, I have a headache. These things give me a headache. That's why I took my earrings out too, because it like jams into my.
What were you saying?
What did Denasia get on her?
9.95.
9.9.
So
And
that
then
is
Ebeyer had a
technically a perfect
9.825.
score.
Hey, Connor.
Trying
Say
to
this
find
again.
it.
Ball State score is what? Okay.
It's. Hey, do you see that up there?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. What?
Ball State with a slight lead after the end of rotation 1 with a 48.95 on vault in the first rotation. The head coach of Bowling Green, Carrie Turner, in her 9th season, caught up with our own Morgan Landis before today's meet.
Coach, this season you have a fairly young team. How have these younger classmen really improved this season?
They've definitely come in not knowing much about college gymnastics, and we met with them every week all fall trying to get them prepared. But really where we've seen the strides is in competition. You can see that their confidence has grown. They've really started to understand the team atmosphere, and now they're competing very, very well for us.
In regards to having such a young team, how has the leadership from your upperclassmen really helped this season?
I can't say enough about my 2 seniors, Caroline Ellingbo and Alyssa Nocella. They're very seasoned competitors. They really want our team to make it to postseason, and they have done everything to lead, the younger group to, great competitions and still trying to push them to get better every single week.
Well, thank you, Coach, so much for your time, and good luck in today's meet.
Thank you.
Terrific work as always, Morgan, as Bowling Green with 7 freshmen on the roster. Nearly 50% of the roster is made up of freshmen, and 5 have seen action this year. 4 plan to see action today. Certainly a young team moving forward for Bowling Green has certainly set the roots and the foundations to have a strong program in years to come. Let's meet the fourth member of our broadcast team who's downstairs, Alexis Williams.
Thanks, Tyler. Now looking ahead to rotation 2, the Falcons are going to be on vault, and they're going to look to their anchor, Lauren Feely. She is the defending MAC champion on vault. She has posted a 9.825 season high this year, and she has a 9.900 career high.
Thanks, Alexis. Lauren Feely competing on the all-around today, a junior out of Illinois, coming off her best performance on the all-around, a career high 39.175. As we're midway through the touch period for rotation 2, Ball State on bars, Bowling Green on vault. And Megan there in the first rotation. Ball State certainly got 2 nice vaults from Denisha Christian and Sarah Ebeyer.
Yes, they certainly did. They had great landings, which they have been working on very hard. And this is 2 meets in a row for both of them that all of their hard work and practice is paying off. And from what I saw, Denisha got a 9.95 on her vault, which is the exact start value. So technically that is a perfect vault from Denisha Christian.
Ball State with a slight lead after rotation 1 with an excellent performance on the vault, 48.95. They have strung together 2 really good meets over the past 2 on vault. Matched a school record against Northern Illinois today of 48.95. Let's take a look back at rotation 1. First off with Bowling Green on the bars.
That was a great double out with a full twist with stuck landing. We don't see those very often, and it was awesome. Blind full into a double out with another stuck landing. The stuck landings really finish off the routine and give the judges something to really look forward to.
And then Ball State on vault to set the tone with a nice vault from Sarah Ebeyer.
Yes, your Chinko half to that stuck landing with just a little bit of a hop. And here's Denisha with the same vault, your Chinko half, great height and a stuck landing. You can see her excitement.
Denisha Christian performing in front of her parents for the first time in her college career, this being the final home meet of the regular season for Denisha Christian.
The team will be traveling to North Carolina for a meet, and from what Denisha has told me, her family will be able to attend that meet, and they plan to fill a lot of the seats at that meet. So she's very excited for them to not only just see her senior night meet here at Ball State, but also see another final meet before MAC.
Bowling Green in rotation 1 with a solid team performance, tying their season high of 48.925 as a team, led by the anchor Alyssa Nocella with a 9.875. But Ball State was slightly better on the vault. 3.5 tenths higher than their season average, 48.95, led by the career highs of Sarah Ebeyer and Denisha Christian. The start of rotation 2 with Katie Honerman on bars, Bowling Green on vault. As the 2 flip-flop between rotation 1 and rotation 2 with Ball State working in Olympic order.
And this is Katie's favorite event. In high school, she suffered a back injury, and when she came back from that, she worked very hard on bars, and that is her favorite event now. We have a nice Yurchenko full from Bowling Green with a slide step backwards. That should be a nice score for Bowling Green. Good entry and flight up and off the table. Very good.
Katie Morsfield, also a freshman. They're trusting her to set the tone here on the vault for the Falcons.
One of 7 freshmen on the roster for Bowling Green.
The first person on each event really does set the tone, and you really want that first start routine to get as high of a score as they can, because the goal is that all the scores go up from there.
Honeman on bars, fresh off of a career high 9.825 against Northern Illinois a little over a week ago.
Good toe shoot to the high bar. Good handstands. That is a pack salto down to the low bar. Good handstand. There's a Ginger slight leg separation. That will be a slight deduction. Double back dismount, fought for the landing. She'll have a slight deduction for the step back, but all around a great routine for senior Katie.
Like you said, she's been working really hard, especially this year. She also told us that she's been trying to perfect all the little knee bends, elbow bends, and so on and so forth on her bar routine.
Yes, and she has done just that. The ginger, the big release move, has improved a lot over the last few years.
This is Ganawicha on vault for Bowling Green.
Another Yurchenko full with a slight hop backwards. That could be about 2 to 3 tenths deduction from the judges. Nice powerful entry and good height off the table. Great vault from Bowling Green.
Mooresfield for Bowling Green, the first vaulter here in rotation 2 with a 9.675. Ball State on bars coming off their season high on bars against Northern Illinois with a 49.025.
And it looks like we have Miranda Keel up on bars next.
The only event she plans to participate in today.
Good blind full into a Takacha, very nice. Right into an overshoot, which adds to bonus for her overall score of a 10-0 start value. Good blind full into double back dismount. Great stuck landing. Very exciting for Miranda and Ball State. Miranda has worked very hard this year on bars and has had a few issues. She had a hip surgery this past summer and she's come back great from it.
Domino on vault Bowling Green.
Another Yurchenko full with a step backwards. That will be another slight deduction.
Another freshman as well for Bowling Green. So they started out freshman, then sophomore, then freshman. So the first 3 people in their vault lineup, young but setting the tone.
And they seem to be doing a good job. For such a young team, these freshmen are really stepping up. They're filling the spots where needed because either seniors are hurt or they don't have as many seniors, so they only have 2 seniors from Bowling Green. So they're doing a great job. And we have a freshman on Ball State's team, Madison Howell.
Freshman from Lexington, Kentucky. The only event she'll compete in today, the bars. Coming off a career high against Northern Illinois, 9.8.
Good handstand into a blind full ginger. Nice height. Now setting up for her dismount. Another blind full. Double back with another stuck landing for Ball State. Ball State has worked a lot on all of their landings on every event, and it is really showing on both vault and bars. The first 2 routines and with stuck landings, and that is very exciting. Here's another look at her dismount. Good. Very excited.
The midway point of rotation 2, Ball State on bars, Bowling Green on vault. This is Nocella competing all around.
Another Yurchenko full with a stuck landing. Again, the Yurchenko full and Yurchenko half start at a 9.95 start value and not a 10.0. That is great height. Chest was just a little low on the landing, but she still stuck it, so the judges will be very generous with their score.
Back to the bars, Angela Durkak.
She's a senior, and she is a biology pre-vet major, and she has recently got accepted into vet school. So this is a very exciting time for Angela. It's a good handstand. She does a very big ginger. Beautiful. And a pack full. She is one of the very few gymnasts that do that exact skill. And I think she's the only one in the MAC who can do it. And she does it beautifully. And another stuck landing for Ball State. That is a great routine for Angela as her senior day. This is the only event she will do, so that is a great routine at her last home meet.
Both of these teams really coming out and exploding on both events they've competed in so far. They're both looking for their first MAC win. So they're coming out here ready to go.
It'll be a great competition, and it's already very close.
Both of these teams looking for their first conference win of the year. Ball State 0-5, Bowling Green 0-3.
Yurchenko half with a slight hop forward. All around, it was a great vault for Bowling Green.
Ball State with a slight lead here in rotation 2. Looking for their first conference win of the year.
This would be very exciting for Ball State to have leading into their last 2 away meets and leading into the MAC competition, which will be here at Ball State.
Ball State is Jordan Penny.
Here's Jordan. She had a career high of a 9.90 a few meets back, and she has beautiful bars, so look at those nice hit handstands. Beautiful piked Jaeger into the bail. Again, that is a connection for bonus towards their start value of a 10-0. Another great handstand. Blind full double back. Nice stuck landing from Jordan. Ball State is going to be able to throw out lots of sticks of gum today for all those stuck landings. Great landing from Jordan Penny. Another great Yurchenko full. Angela Durkak posted a 9.85 for her bar routine. It's a great score for her senior year.
That was Feely for Bowling Green, the anchor on vault. There's one event that certainly has the focus of Carrie Turner right now to improve. It is the vault. Last of the MAC in average as a team with a 48.504.
Then we will have Kayla Beckler up on bars. Last, she will be the anchor. She is a junior, and look for a very high Jaeger today from her. She is known on the team for flying high on bars. Great handstand. Blind half into a straddle Jaeger, and she just missed it. Now, as I said earlier, each gymnast will have 30 seconds to either rechalk and regroup before they remount the bar. And she will remount, and they will pick up right where they left off. So she will just shoot over right to her bail. And those bent knees will be a slight deduction added on to the 5/10 deduction from her fall. She was a little off on her blind full and could not connect it to her dismount, so she hopped off, and she will pick up again, and we'll have to do the skill again to finish up the routine. Now, since she is the anchor and Ball State had 5 hits in a row, they will not have to count this score toward their total team bar score. So this is a little unfortunate that she's falling because she could post up a good score, but the other girls did their jobs and have done a great routines beforehand, so Ball State will be okay. Looking for a nice finish to Kayla Beckler's routine right here. Another great handstand. Blind full into the dismount. Good double back landing with just one step.
As a gymnast, Megan, what do those falls do mentally?
They put a lot of pressure on you because you know that your team is relying on you for a big score, and then if you fall, you have to get back up and do everything you can to not make any other tiny mistakes or another fall potentially. So you're just fighting for everything at that point to get the highest score you can, even with a fall. Looks like Jordan Penny posted a 9.825, which is a great routine for her. And this is Jackie Duffy. She will be exhibitioning bars. We will see her again on beam shortly.
We go through all 6 gymnasts here in rotation 2. 6 compete, 5 score. An option of exhibition routines after all 6 have competed. This one of them, Jackie Duffy. She's a sophomore from Massillon, Ohio. Athleticism in the family. Her dad, Roger, played center and guard in the NFL. Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Jets.
We will actually get to see 2 exhibition routines today, one from Jackie and then one from Jillian Hacker as well.
Both of those 2 being sophomores.
Next on the bars for the exhibition for Ball State is Jackie Duffy.
It's a good handstand. She will go into a blind full. She was a little off, so she decided to skip her Tkachev and go right into her bail. Looks like she's going to go on to her dismount with a blind full double back. Good landing for Jackie Duffy.
How much stock is placed in these exhibitions?
Well, I know currently that Ball State is trying to determine who all they're going to take to the MAC competition. Jackie is currently on beam, so she is fighting for a possible backup spot for bars to be there. If someone's to get hurt, then she could possibly go in. And we can see that on a couple other events for some of the other exhibitions to see if they could go in. So for these particular meets, the next few exhibitions, there's a lot of weight on their shoulders to see if they could be going for MAC.
Rotation 2 scores. Ball State still with the slight edge here at home. The 97.825 through 2 rotations. In search of their first conference win of the year. One more exhibition routine to conclude rotation 2. Duffy was the first. This is Jillian Hacker. From Newcastle, Indiana, about 30 minutes south of Worthen Arena, where we are right now.
Jillian last year tore her ACL on bars on her dismount, so this year is a big comeback year for her, and I know she's very excited to do all of these routines. Good handstand. A little separation there. A pike Jaeger that she just missed. That will be a 5/10 deduction for Jillian. She will pick it back up and she will go into her bail. She's a little close on that toe shoot. She has to work extra hard to get the handstand. Into the double back dismount with a good landing. And that is the skill that she tore her ACL on last year. So that's a pretty good landing coming back just a year after tearing an ACL on the same skill. Great landing and the slight step backwards.
Ball State with their second highest score of the year on bars. Bowling Green with their lowest score in any conference meet this year on vault. Ball State got a career high from a freshman and Howe on the bars there in rotation 2. Ball State's rolling here in Muncie on Senior Day.
All right, we're in the arena. 3 of your Ball State gymnasts scored a 9.75 or higher on the bars. So we have 3 t-shirts to some of the loudest fans here in Worth this afternoon.
What'd you say? Yeah. What's that? Yeah.
Teams, you now have 2 minutes to get to your next event. 2 minutes to get to your next event. All right, fans, it's time to bust out the dance.
So we'll talk a little bit about rotation 2, and then we're going to go through highlights. Same thing as last time.
Okay. 9825 for Madison.
20 seconds. You got that, Megan?
Mm-hmm.
You good?
Yeah.
10 seconds. Ball State in rotation 2 with their second highest score of the season on bars of 48.87, and they lead on Senior Day looking for their first conference win of the year, currently with a score of 97.825. Taking a look back at rotation 2, Bowling Green was on the vault.
Yes, and here we have a beautiful Yurchenko full, nice stuck landing. A great vault for Bowling Green. Here's another Yurchenko full. Ooh, slight hop back, but that is a great vault and very excited.
Despite the vault by Nocella, Bowling Green with their lowest score of any of their 4 conference meet this year. Ball State in rotation 2 was on the bars.
Jordan Penny, nice stuck landing, and here's Madison Howe with a 9825 and another stuck dismount for Ball State. That was a great rotation for bars. And they had a 48.875 as a total beams or total bar score. They are on beam now.
The scores on vault for Bowling Green in rotation 2. Led by their last 2 gymnasts in Victoria Heath and Lauren Feely. With a team score of 48.675, that's the lowest score of any of their 4 conference meets this year. On bars for Ball State, their second highest score of the season, 48.875, received a career high from the 3rd gymnast, Madison Howe, a 9.825. But Angela Durkak led the way for Ball State as the 4th gymnast with a 9.85. Let's go back downstairs to the 4th member of our broadcast crew before the start of rotation 3, and Alexis Williams.
We're going to look ahead at the upcoming schedules for both the Ball State Cardinals and your Bowling Green Falcons. Now, Bowling Green is going to be back at home against Northern Illinois. They're going to have Northern Illinois. They're going to be at Oregon. They're going to be at Oregon Seattle Pacific. Back to you, Tyler.
That's a look at the upcoming schedule for the Bowling Green Falcons in the final stretch of the season as the MAC Championships tune up for about a month from now. The event will be held inside Worthen Arena, so Bowling Green getting a conference championship tune-up today. Their next meet being on March 4th for Bowling Green against Central Michigan. Rotation 3, Ball State moves along on beam in Olympic order. Bowling Green on floor. Last year when these two teams met up, being the only event that Ball State won as a team compared to Bowling Green, a 49.125, and has developed as one of their stronger events. So we take a look at the floor lineup for Bowling Green. Two freshmen to lead off, anchored by Alyssa Nocella, competing in the all-around today. Feely also competing in all-around, will go fourth as a junior. Ball State's lineup on beam, anchored by Jayla Washington. Bailey Bell, a sophomore, starting off a pair of sophomores, Bell and Duffy. Duffy, who just competed at the end of rotation 2 in an exhibition on bars.
Ball State has worked very hard on this event. This has in the past been one of our weaker events, but they have been working very hard on being consistent and being strong on this event.
Coach Salim felt as though they just need to find out who's going to work well together and feed off each other moving forward in terms of the beam. At a 47.575. A little over a week ago in their last meet at Northern Illinois, Northern won the event on beam.
Going off of what you said there, Salim saying, you know, they have to work together. Jackie Duffy and Sydney Finke both started off as exhibitions this year, and they have worked their way into the beam routine. So we'll see how well, you know, these 6 gymnasts work together on beam.
Bowling Green extremely young this year. Started the year with 8 freshmen on the gymnast. 5 have seen action, 4 of them in action from today, and from all geographic regions of the country. They even have 1 freshman from another country in Ensenada, Mexico. About 2 hours south of San Diego. Leslie Delgado does not compete today against Ball State.
Looks like Bailey Bell is going to be the first up on beam for Ball State. And she is usually the starter, and she has only missed 1 routine in her career so far here at Ball State. She is very confident and very solid on this event. Nice series.
The only event Bell competing in today is the beam.
That was a good side semi.
Celine feels as though she's fairly even keeled on the beam, sets the tone, and that's the reason that they lead with her out of the 6 gymnasts.
Since she misses so rarely, it boosts the confidence of the other gymnasts that follow her and help them feel better and more confident about their own routines. That was a great landing from Bailey Bell on beam. Great routine.
Going along with what we've said, Joanna Salim, you know, talking about Bailey Beam, 3 words to describe her: explosive, confident, and consistent.
Yeah, she is very consistent.
First of the floor routines for Bowling Green, Rachel Cray.
Round off 1.5, punch front layout. Nicely passes from Bowling Green. Front layout, front full. Nice landings. One thing that judges can take off on floor is the direction in which gymnasts step after their passes. If they're doing a forward pass, they must step forward out of their pass into their landing. And if they're going backwards for a double back, say, they must step backwards. This can be about a 10th off. Punch front Rudy, which is a 1.5 twist forward. And since she lands backwards, she would step backwards. Another look at the front layout, front full. Good landing.
Rachel Cray, also a freshman for the Falcons. She's trusted to set a positive tone there, like we've said before, on the floor. And the freshmen have really come out here and competed today for Bowling Green.
They really have. They've set a great tone for their BGSU team.
Back on beam, Jackie Duffy, the second gymnast here in rotation 3 for Ball State.
She will do a front toss. Oh, she had a slight bobble into the back handspring. And that bobble will count as a disconnected series, which can count as possibly 4 to 5 tenths off of her routine.
See the score by Bell, previous to Duffy on the beam, the 9.75. Duffy had an 8.9 in their last outing against Northern Illinois.
Good full turn. She will do a one-armed front walkover into a beat jump. There are certain requirements that every gymnast has to fulfill on each event, and that fulfills one of her requirements for skill level. Great dismount from Jackie. Overall, that was a great routine following Bailey Bell.
Like I said, Duffy starting off as an exhibition on beam for this year, has worked her way in, and that showed.
Really did. She has been consistent this year, and she's been solid and worked very hard. That's a new series for her actually this year, whereas last year she would do a handstand into her back handspring layout step out.
Second gymnast on the floor for Bowling Green, starting off on floor with a pair of freshmen. This is Kayla Rose.
Round up back handspring double pike. Oh, she's stepped out of bounds, which is a 10th off. And since she had a couple hops after that, she could possibly have an extra 10th or 2 off. Floor is a very high energy event, and that first pass she had a lot of height and a lot of energy, so it just carried her back a little bit too far. That was a great front handspring. Seems to be having a lot of fun in this routine. Up into the last pass, round up back handspring, double back. Nice finish for Bowling Green.
Bowling Green won the floor event last year when these two teams met up. 48.95 as a team as you take a look at the current scores. Here in rotation 3, Ball State with a slight edge trying to hang on to their first conference win of the year. Their 6th conference meet of opponents up to this point.
And here is Sydney. She's a freshman out of Greenwood, Indiana.
The 3-time state champion, a Megan Peters Mental Attitude Award winner as a senior. The only event we see Finke today, a freshman for Ball State.
She was a little off on that series, so she fell, which will take 0.5 off of her score. Nice switch lead to a tuck full with a beat jump afterwards. Now Sydney has a unique dismount. Not many girls do this dismount from other teams or our team. She does a round off double back off the beam with a nice landing, couple steps, but a great finish to Sydney's routine.
Coach Salim said Sydney Finke is really fun to watch, and she's been working really hard this year to get herself into some routines.
She really has been, and that dismount has come a long way. Now, hopefully the rest of the team can pull it together and keep the routines nice, strong, and consistent, and then hopefully we won't have to count Sydney's possible fall or score towards the team beam score.
This is Laura Mitchell on floor for Bowling Green, a sophomore, as the 3rd gymnast. The first 2, Cray with a 9.7, Rose with a 9.675. Mitchell participating in 3 events today: bars, floor, and beam. A sophomore from London, England.
Mitchell had an explosive freshman year and really proved to Carrie Turner, the coach, that, you know, I can work, I can get in there, and I can compete in some events.
Sydney Finke will post a 9.2 on beam.
The speed of the meet determines upon the judges at their discretion. Meet was slowed right at the beginning after 3 gymnasts in rotation 1 with Ball State on the vault.
Sometimes there can be differences in judges' start values for each routine, so sometimes they'll have to get up and go and talk about it and see what one judge may have missed. Because as you may have noticed, routines can be decently fast and it's easy to miss something.
Any desire to ever be a judge, Megan?
That's kind of stressful and a lot of twists to try to see at once, so not right now.
How about coaching?
Coaching, I've done some coaching so far, and I've enjoyed it. The kids are great, and it's a lot of energy. It's fun.
Your most recent opportunity?
I coach here at Ball State with some kids' recreational classes Monday and Tuesday nights.
Terrific. The midway point of rotation 3, Laura Mitchell of Bowling Green.
Laura just had a great double pike on floor, the nice landing. And a back handspring double tuck. The great finish. There's a lot of energy here on the floor. That was a full turn, and in college, full turns are not typically required to be in the routine, but it is still optional. Gymnasts can put just about anything. She was a little short on that landing, or a little low, so she was a little squatted. That will be a slight deduction. It was a great routine for Bowling Green otherwise.
Next on the beam for Ball State is Kayla Beckler.
Great double pike for Bowling Green.
Back to the beam here in rotation 3. Kayla Beckler as the 4th gymnast.
We just saw her on bars, and she had a slight hiccup, so coming back and recomposing herself and getting ready for a very mental apparatus is very important. She had a slight bobble on that series there, but she recovered very well.
The top scorers last year for Ball State on beam as a sophomore.
It's a beautiful front aerial into a beat jump.
At her career high at Bowling Green, a 9.85.
Beam is a very difficult event alone just with the skills, but it is also a very mental event to do a lot of high-level skills on a 4-inch beam, and that was a beautiful 1.5 dismount from Kayla Beckler.
Great job by Beckler bouncing off of her, couple bobbles on bars, coming to beam and just knocking it out.
Gosh, that was a beautiful routine and a good recovery from bars.
The judges watching the scoring here in rotation 3. Ball State on the beam, Bowling Green competing on the floor. This is Lauren Feely.
That was a good front handspring 1.5 to a layout step out. Run up back handspring double pike.
Routine right before Feely. Mitchell with a 9.6 on floor. Ball State with a slight lead here in rotation 3 over Bowling Green.
Getting ready for her 3rd pass. Front handspring Rudy. Very good routine from Bowling Green.
We're starting to see the upperclassmen now for Bowling Green take charge on the floor.
As I've said earlier, floor is a very high energy event, and the upperclassmen have had a lot of experience with harnessing that energy, and they do a great job, as we just saw from Feely on floor.
Penny, the sophomore from Aurora, Illinois, competing 5th with 2 gymnasts remaining here in rotation 3 on beam, following Beckler's 9.725.
It's a good score for Beckler on beam. Good leap series from Jordan Penny on beam. Nice save. She was just a little off as you saw her leg come off the beam. She was able to find the beam again and put it back down. That is a great torjete half on beam. That is another skill that you do not see too often on beam because you lose sight of the beam as you turn around. Nice 1.5 dismount from Jordan with a slide step. Great finish.
Penny has competed in all 3 events so far today, and she's done an excellent job on all 3.
One more look at the dismount by our outstanding camera work.
Very good dismount. This is a good comeback for Jordan since last year she injured her back and had to take some time off. She's done a great job this year on her return.
Heath competing on 3 events, the junior from York, Pennsylvania. This is her floor routine midway through rotation 3.
Great double pike. She has that continued step backwards, and that is accepted in the finishing on floors. Good run up back handspring 1.5 to a punch front layout. Preparing for her 3rd and final pass on floor. Run up back handspring double tuck. Nice finish. Very high energy routine with nice landings for Bowling Green.
And her teammate loves the routine by Victoria Heath to send us back to the beam with Jayla Washington as the anchor here in rotation 3.
The last meet, Jayla, was an exhibition, so she has worked her way into the lineup for this meet. Jayla has a unique series as well. She'll do a side aerial into a back handspring step out. Very nice. Good leap series from Jayla.
Washington, a graduate of Carmel High School on the north side of Indianapolis.
Nice punch full off of the beam for Jayla. Great routine and a great way to finish up the beam lineup. Here's another look at her dismount. Punch front full, slight hop, but a great finish as the new anchor for Ball State beam.
Nocella, the anchor, following Heath with a 9.875 for Heath. Nocella competing all around.
Her team seems very excited about her routine. Let's see what she has to start off with. Nice double tuck. Good switch side into a wolf full. Run up back handspring double pike as her second pass. Very nice landing and great height on that pass as well. Her final pass is a front handspring layout to a 1.5. Very nice routine from Nocella for Bowling Green.
The senior coming out and exploding on floor and wrapping this up for the Falcons.
Yes, that was a great routine. Here's another look at her double tuck. Great finish and great height, which are all things that the judges look for in the routine.
Exhibition routine with the senior from Roanoke City, Virginia, Denasia Christian, at a 9.15 in their last outing against Northern Illinois on the beam. Moved into an exhibition spot here in rotation 3.
That was a nice save on her series. She had a little extra energy, so she took the extra step back. Cat leap switch side, which I think is a new jump for Denasia. Beat jump front tuck, nice save. Very pretty routine so far from Christian. She's getting ready for her dismount. Punch front full with a slight hop. Very good routine for Denasia.
An exhibition routine for Ball State here on beam. An exhibition routine now on floor for Bowling Green after the final look from Christian's dismount.
Very nice punch front full. Slight hop.
This Erica Hauser, who has not competed as a freshman in any event this year as a scoring role. An exhibition routine.
Round off by handspring double pike. She had a little extra energy, so she stepped out of bounds, which again will be 1/10 out off of her score. Here's her second pass. A front handspring layout. Very nice. Slight bend in the legs, which the judges could take if they wanted. Here's her third and final pass on floor. Run up back handspring double tuck. A little low on the landing, but a great finish for Bowling Green on floor. That was a great exhibition routine and could possibly get her more experience and a possible lineup spot if needed for Bowling Green's floor team.
Brooke Evans, a senior from Virginia on beam.
This is Brooke's second time exhibitioning on beam this year. The nice back handspring layout step out as her series. Very solid. Very nice switch side. Switch leap straddle quarter from Brooke. Very solid. Side aerial from Brooke. No bobbles so far. She's doing great in this exhibition spot today. Setting up for her dismount. So round off 1.5. Slide step backwards, but a great routine for Brooke on her senior day. Very exciting.
One of the 5 seniors for Ball State here on senior day, competing against Bowling Green. A hug from her coach, Joanna Salim, after the exhibition routine. One more look at the dismount by Evans, the senior from Virginia.
Great height, just a little bit back. but a great landing and great finish for Brooke.
Bowling Green with the slight edge over Ball State through 3 rotations. Bowling Green with their best score against any conference opponent this year on the floor. Rotation 4 is next.
2 minutes to get to your final events. 2 minutes to your final events. Worthen Arena, 2 of your Ball State Cardinals scored a 9.75 or higher. That means we have 2 seats for you.
So we are down. Come back and take the lead. All right?
Okay.
15 seconds.
Teams, your 4 minutes
Just one
left
rotation
here.
remains
Right now.
in a battle between Bowling Green and Ball State, 2 Mid-American Conference opponents, both looking for their first conference win of the year. It was Bowling Green in rotation 3 with their best score on the floor against any conference opponent to rally back and take the lead headed into rotation 4.
Yes, Bowling Green had a great rotation on floor. They had great landings and some really high passes. And Ball State had just a little hiccup on beam, but they were able to hold it together and are very close behind Bowling Green.
Our Alexis Williams is downstairs on the floor.
There's so much energy on the floor right now. I've seen chest bumps, I've seen high fives, I've seen cheering. It's quite unbelievable. As you can see, both teams are still fighting really hard to find their first conference win, and you can see the intensity in their face. Now, I talked to Bowling Green head coach before the match, and she said that they're trying to take it one rotation at a time so they can really put their focus on each routine. Now, looking ahead, rotation 4 is coming up next, but first, let's meet Claire Collins.
I started gymnastics when I was 6 years old. My best friend took tumbling classes, and then I just went with her one time, and she ended up quitting, and I just stayed in it because I really liked it. I definitely really liked it. I thought it was really easy, so I just wanted to keep going back, and then my parents kept me in it because I was doing cartwheels all over our house, and they needed to get rid of my energy, so they kept taking me. I chose Ball State because I fell in love with just the atmosphere of the campus, honestly, and I really love the coaches and the gymnastics program in general. So, it was really an easy choice for me, especially since the distance from my house was perfect, the school size was perfect, and then the gymnastics program just topped it all off, so I had to choose Ball State. My favorite events? It's a tie between floor and vault. I love vault because I just get to show off and it's my best event, but I love floor because I love performing and I love dancing and I get to play with the crowd, so that's really fun. This season, I hope to just help my team in all my lineups that I'm in, right now floor and vault. This season I want to help my team place top 3 in the MAC. That's our goal, and I want to help them do that. After I graduate, I really want to do an internship abroad just because gymnastics is so time consuming. We really can't take as much time off as studying abroad or working abroad really needs, so that's number 1 on the list after I graduate is internship or working abroad. My most memorable gymnastics moment is definitely my national championship meet my senior year. My coaches were just so extremely proud of me, and at the end of the meet I got to say, hey, I'm going to Ball State in 4 months, and that was just the most memorable moment ever for me after that meet.
That's Claire Collins, already seen her on vault today. She will be on the floor in rotation 4 in the 3rd spot for Ball State. 3 rotations through Bowling Green with a slight lead. Ball State will compete in rotation 4 on the floor. Their anchor, Denacia Christian, certainly will have all the eyes. A 2-time MAC floor champion, a 2014 All-Mid-American Conference second-team selection, has certainly solidified herself as one of the best gymnasts to go through this Ball State program.
Yes, as you can see, she's posted 9.9 and 9.8 plus scores on floor this year. She is definitely the person to watch on floor with her high-flying skills, double back in the full in, which is not seen too often on floor.
She has 6 titles this year on the floor. Her most recent win was against Northern Illinois with a 9.9. Look at the floor results for Bowling Green that allowed them to reclaim the lead in rotation 3 with a team score of 48.875. That was the best team score for Bowling Green on the floor against any conference opponent this year. Anchored by Alyssa Nocella with the highest. Ball State on the beam, the team score of 48.575.
Looks like they were able to drop Sydney's fall on beam, which really helps out the beam score. So that means all of the other girls in lineup really stepped up and did their best beam routine today.
We head into rotation 4 on senior day. Ball State looking for their first conference win. So is Bowling Green. Bowling Green 0-3, Ball State 0-5 against Mid-American Conference opponents. Denacia Christian will be the anchor on floor, the MAC floor champion. Claire Collins, who we heard from before the start of rotation 4, competes 3rd in the rotation.
This is her first year competing here for Ball State. As you said earlier, last year she was unable to compete due to injury and coming back from surgery. So she's worked very hard to get this floor spot, and her routine is very exciting and fun to watch.
We start rotation 4 on the beam with Lauren Feely. Feely competing all around along with Nocella for Bowling Green.
It's a gainer layout step out. So that means she does a layout step out with coming off of 1 foot, whereas we've seen a lot of layout step outs coming out of a back handspring. And she just did a layout step out of a back handspring for her series.
Beam has been one of the better events for Bowling Green in recent memory. Over the past 2 meets, a score of 49 plus. They're 3rd currently in the conference on beam.
We'll be looking for Ball State to have nice, strong floor and nice landings to be able to possibly come back and possibly get that first conference win against Bowling Green today. That was a great cartwheel gainer full as her dismount. Great routine from Feely on beam.
Another look at the 2014 MAC Freshman of the Year's dismount here on beam.
Beautiful height out of that cartwheel gainer full.
Is Caitlin Menzioni.
A freshman out of Downers Grove, Illinois, Menzioni, the first to go on floor for Ball State.
Here's her first pass. Run up back handspring double pike, a little extra energy, so she hopped out of bounds, which again will be a 10th deduction. Flooring is an event where girls can pick their own floor routine and then choreograph their own dance. So this is very exciting, and girls really enjoy their floor routine so that they can show it off and give the crowd something to really enjoy. Second pass, front handspring, front full to a front layout. She's a little short on that landing. Menzioni's going to finish with a round up back handspring double back. She put her hands down, so that is a 5/10 deduction and counts as a fall for Ball State on floor.
It's a freshman, Menzioni. Menzioni, a true freshman. Her first appearance against Towson with a 9.725 on the floor. The state of Illinois, where she was a champion in 3 different events.
As on the other events, Ball State still has 5 other chances to possibly drop that score and that falls so that they can put up the best floor score possible.
Heath, the second gymnast to go on the beam in rotation 4, following Feely's 9.7 in the leadoff position.
We have a back handspring step out into a layout step out as her series. Very nice with no bobbles. Solid leap series as well. Jump series, very nice. Just getting ready for her dismount here. The run, punch, 1.5. Slight hop backwards. Otherwise, a great routine for Bowling Green on beam.
Victoria Heath also had a great routine on beam last year versus Ball State, scoring a 9.75.
Another look at that dismount. Very nice. We've seen some punch front fulls, but not punch 1.5, so that was a great dismount.
From Victoria Heath to Shelby Arms of Ball State with a second routine on floor in rotation 4. Arms, a junior out of Jeffersonville, Indiana, just north of Louisville across the border. Was an Indiana State floor champion back in high school.
Shelby has some high-level skills here on floor. And as I mentioned earlier, each gymnast has to have a certain level of skills in their routines to get the 10-0 start value. And Shelby has met those requirements in some different ways in her routine than we've seen from our own gymnasts and from Bowling Green. You see a lot of double backs and a lot of double pikes, whereas Shelby will do some more twisting as opposed to flipping.
Next on the floor for Ball State is Shelby Arms.
The second of 2 events she competes in today, vault and rotation 1. Here's Arms on floor.
Run up back handspring, 2.5 twist, punch front, out of bounds, so she will get a deduction for that. Great leap series from Shelby. Really having fun with this routine and getting the crowd involved. Front handspring, front double twist. Nice landing. Very fun and exciting routine. Her final pass is a front handspring front Rudy. Very nice landing. Great finish for Ball State on floor.
An update on scores here on rotation 4. Bowling Green on beam, Ball State on vault. Rather, Ball State on floor. With the third gymnast of Bowling Green, Rachel Rice out of Florida. Second event she has competed on today, competed earlier on bars.
That was a triple flight series with a back handspring layout step out. Since she fell, that will be a 5/10 deduction from her score.
Bowling Green currently ranked in the top 35, the top 36 invited to the regional on April 2nd. You see the Heath score, the second gymnast for Bowling Green on beam, the 9.65, prior to Rice.
That skill is called a TikTok. From what I remember, when I was younger, we'd always do them on floor. That was very graceful and very elegant to do on the beam. Gainer full dismount, nice stick. Great way to finish up that routine for Bowling Green. Another look at her dismount. Pushing off one leg, getting nice height, and then perfect stuck landing.
Next on the floor for Ball State is Claire Collins.
Claire Collins, the sophomore out of Crystal Lake, Illinois. You heard from her before the start of rotation 4, competing third on floor.
She's going to do a front through to a double pike. Great landing and a great start to this routine. There's her second pass with a front handspring Rudy. Nice finish. She's worked very hard on that landing for that particular pass. Very exciting routine as she gets ready for her third and final pass. She will finish with a run-up back handspring double tuck. Nice finish. It is a great routine for Claire Collins on floor. Great routine on floor for Ball State.
Through the first 3 floor routines, we can definitely feel the energy and excitement from the fans and the Cardinal gymnast.
Yes, they really enjoy the routines and get into it. Here's another look at her first pass with a great finish.
Ellingbo competing on beam. Just 2 seniors for Bowling Green. Last year competed on bars and beam in every single meet for the Falcons.
It was a very good series with a back handspring layout step out. Just saw a side aerial from Bowling Green. Since she fell, that would be 5/10 deduction. This means that Bowling Green will have to count a fall on their beam team score.
You see the fans behind her.
They're very excited for Ball State right now. That was a gainer tuck full off of the end of the beam for Bowling Green as a dismount. Good finish up and come back from the fall. Now we are here with Sarah Ebeyer on floor as she gets ready for her first pass. Round off back handspring double pike. Great landing and great finish. You can hear the excitement from the Ball State arena.
Follows Collins, who posted a 9.85 as the third gymnast. This is Ebeyer in the fourth spot.
Very exciting. Claire kept the ball rolling after the first few routines, and Sarah's looking to build off of that. That was a great front handspring Rudy to a layout step out. Floor is an event that you can really see the girls' personality and excitement for the routines. This is one where you can really show off everything you've worked hard for. Here's her last pass with a front handspring full to a front pike. Great finish and a great routine from Sarah Ebeyer on floor.
The junior out of Whiteland, Indiana, Sarah Ebeyer.
Here's another look at her first pass. Huge double pike with a great landing, stepping backwards.
Tons of excitement in here right now from all the fans.
Yes.
This brings us back to beam with Alyssa Nocella, the 2013 MAC Beam champion, and a first-team All-Selection 2 times.
It's a great series. Oh, but she couldn't quite save it, so she fall, and we'll have to take another 5/10 deduction for Bowling Green. This means that they will now have to take 2 falls towards their team beam score. Now, since they are coming from floor to beam, as we are seeing with our Ball State team, there's a lot of high energy. And we saw with Bowling Green that the energy was just as high. So going to a very calm event such as beam, it can be very hard to kind of tame all of those nerves and excitement to get in the zone to present a beautiful routine. Very nice front aerial with a 2-foot landing. Getting ready for a dismount, round off 1.5. Great landing and a great finish.
Next on the floor for Ball State is Erin Patchy.
And here's senior Erin Patchy on floor. She has made a comeback from a previous plantar fascia injury. And she's very excited to do this routine today.
Ball State has reclaimed the lead.
That was a great stuck double pike.
Just 2 gymnasts remain for Ball State on floor. Patchy along with Christian.
On floor, gymnasts have the option to either stick their tumbling passes or to take a jump step lunge out of their passes. And as we saw from Patchy, she stuck her double pike and did not take the step that is allowed. And there was a great landing and a great pass from Erin Patchy.
Patchy's doing an excellent job today coming off of her injury.
Yes, she is. The team really has a dedicated athletic training staff that has really helped to meet with her and many of the other girls to help work on any injuries or sore muscles that they may have.
Patchy, one of 5 seniors celebrating her senior day, trying to hang on to a win for Ball State, their first conference win of the year it would be.
Great finish. It's a great ending to that routine for Miss Patchy. She's having a good senior day from her vault and her floor. Here's another look. Great double pike. Look at that stick. That is great.
The final event for Bowling Green, the anchor spot of beam, Laura Mitchell, competed on bars and floor earlier.
That is a very unique mount, not seen very often. Going back for a back handspring and then catching it on her arms and her chest in a handstand, more or less. Beautiful series.
An interesting lineup for Bowling Green as well in the beam. They started out with their upperclassmen, now working down to Laura Mitchell as a sophomore.
As we just saw, she fell on her back tuck, which will be another 5/10 deduction. The difference in lineup and starting with maybe a sophomore can come down to consistency in the gym and who's hitting in the gym and who's posting up the best hit percentages. And as Coach Salim had mentioned, that balance and working well off of each other is very important off of beam. And that just may be what works for Bowling Green.
Trusting the sophomore to wrap things up.
Yep. She's preparing for her dismount. Round off double. So she does 2 twists before she lands. It's a great finish.
That's Laura Mitchell, the anchor on beam for Bowling Green, their final of the 6 gymnasts here in rotation 4, as we take one more look at the dismount by Mitchell. Sending us to the anchor on floor for Ball State. Denacia Christian trying to seal the first conference win of the year for Ball State. A senior on senior day and a 2-time MAC floor champion.
Exact words from Coach Salim. She is our anchor on floor because she is so powerful and the best gymnast on floor.
This first pass is very explosive, gets great height, and is a level E skill, which is a requirement of the floor exercise. Great pass. Little hiccup after on the landing. And that is just because she is so explosive and powerful on this event.
Ball State looking for their first conference win. If it's today, comes over a team in the top 35.
Front handspring, front full layout. Great finish. Preparing for her final pass. Round up back handspring, double tuck, huge, great landing. Great routine from senior Denacia Christian.
The senior on senior day, Denacia Christian, a 2-time MAC floor champion, and the anchor spot, all the eyes on her, and none more important than those set of eyes right there. Her parents, for the first time they have seen her compete in college. One more look at the final pass of Christian.
Look at this height. Oh, that was a great full in. Here's her second pass, front full layout. Nice controlled landing.
Christian with 6 titles on the floor this year. A 2014 All-MAC second team selection. She's coming off a 9.9 against Northern Illinois, which was her 6th title. Her parents made the 7.5-hour trip from Roanoke City, Virginia, to see her perform for the first time in college in her 4 years.
I'm sure Denasia and her family are very proud of her performance today. She's done a great job.
As you can see the excitement from one of her younger family members.
Next on the floor for BSU.
Denasia posted a 9.85 on floor. It's a great way to finish up the floor team score.
Christian Ebeyer and Collins, all with a 9.85 on floor.
This is freshman Sydney Finke in exhibition spot, bringing a lot of energy to this routine. Front handspring double full to a front tug. This is another E-level skill and is one of the most difficult ones.
Coach Salim mentioned she has really high level tumbling, like you just said, and she's really fun to watch during her floor routine.
She does a great job of including the audience and the teammates in her routine. Front handspring Rudy layout step out, very nice.
One of two exhibition routines for Ball State.
Gotcha.
Here she is finishing up with her last pass. Double pike, very nice finish for Sydney Finke today. Good exhibition routine from Sydney.
A freshman out of Indianapolis with Finke.
Attention all parents of Ball State senior gymnasts. We need you to please start making your way.
Some high-level gymnastics where she was a 3-time state champion for the
Here's
state of
another
Indiana.
look. That front double full punch front tuck.
The final exhibition routine for Ball State, Brooke Evans, who competed on exhibition on the beam. A senior out of Virginia.
Last on the floor in exhibition for Ball State is Brooke Evans.
Brooke has worked very hard on this routine, and she too has had knee surgery either a year or two back, and so she's been working on coming back and perfecting these skills. Just gonna start off with a round-up back handspring double pike. Great landing and great energy. Here she goes for her second pass. Front handspring front fold to a front layout. Very nice and very controlled. Having a lot of fun in this routine. It's the last routine of the evening. She's doing very well. Here's her third and final pass. Run up back handspring double tuck. Great finish. Very exciting. Great routine for a senior night.
That's Brooke Evans concluding a rotation for an exhibition spot. Final scores are coming up next. Both of these teams looking for their first conference win of the year. Ball State looking for a win over a team in the top 35. An exciting one today in the side of the MAC Championships in Worthen Arena on the campus of Ball State University. Both Bowling Green and Ball State in search of their first conference win of the season.
It will be a very close meet. Both teams did very well today, and here's a look at Bowling Green on bars. Nice double layout.
Bowling Green started the event on bars, and then a rotation to in vault with Nocella.
Very good double tuck from Nocella as well on floor. And here's Feely on beam for their fourth rotation with a very nice stuck dismount. Here's Denisha Christian on vault with a beautiful Yurchenko half vault with a stuck landing. Very excited.
A huge hug to go with it from our head coach, Coach Salim. Ball State on the bars in rotation 2.
Madison Howell with a stuck landing. And Jordan Penny on beam with a nice landing. And here's Erin Patchy on floor, closing it out with a stuck landing with a double pike.
A look at the final scores. Ball State receives their first conference win of the season and a win over a team in the top 35 in Bowling Green. Ball State now 1-5 in the Mid-American Conference after their win today on Senior Day over Bowling Green. Alexis Williams will have word with the head coach of Ball State, Joanna Salim. After this, Ball State has won their first conference meet of the year.
Very exciting. This is also their first 195 of the year. Very exciting.
Did you hear that? Alexis is waiting on Coach or Denisha. We will fill until we get one of them down there. We'll just fill with conversation.
Okay.
Need to fill the toilet. I have to pee so.
Fans, at this time, we'd like to recognize all the senior gymnasts and all of their hard work and accomplishments for their respective programs.
Okay, we'll talk about the senior class.
Okay.
Sound good?
Mhm. And here comes Denasia with her dad, who is here for the first time. He is seeing her compete in her collegiate career.
Ball State received their first conference win of the year and a win over a team in the top 35 in Bowling Green. Ball State also celebrating Senior Day tonight for their 5 seniors. This is the first Denasia Christian, who has certainly meant a lot to this Ball State program, Megan.
Yes, she has been very, very valuable. Coming in as a freshman and starting off, she started off on 3 events, the 3 events she competed today. And she has continued to work through any adversity that has come her way and has made it to her senior year on floor, vault, and beam.
Today an emotional one for her. First time her parents have ever seen her perform in college. With our second senior, Angela Durkak, out of Yorktown, Virginia.
Angela is a very, very valuable teammate. She comes in strong on bars, has a very unique routine, and is a very, very good leader. She has very high energy and is very supportive of all of her teammates.
As you mentioned during the show, Durkak recently accepted a veterinarian school.
She has yet to decide where she wants to go, but she is very excited for the opportunity and to fully be accepted.
Durkak competed today on the bars for Ball State, leading to the win over Bowling Green.
Our next senior is Brooke Evans.
With the senior festivities inside Worthen Arena, the site of the MAC Championships, senior Brooke Evans and 2 exhibition routines today as her parents on either shoulder escort her out.
Yes, and Brooke suffered a meniscus tear during her time here and has come back from that and was able to show us beautiful routines today on both floor and beam.
Had the final exhibition routine of the afternoon on floor to wrap up rotation 4 for Ball State. Also competed on beam in exhibition, as mentioned.
Our next senior is Katie Honorman.
Honorman today, who competed on bars for Ball State, originally from Frederick, Maryland.
Yes, Katie is an exercise science major, and she will be doing an internship in Virginia Beach after she graduates. She is very excited, and she is a very hard worker. Her main event is bars, which she suffered a back injury, as mentioned earlier, during her high school club career, and has worked very hard to come back and make it to Division I athletics.
Ladies and gentlemen, Katie Honorman.
These are the senior festivities from Worthen. Aaron Patchy, the final of the 5 seniors to be recognized for the Ball State Cardinals. Patchy today competing on the vault and competing on the floor. Missed 3 meets this year due to a foot injury where she was sidelined in a boot.
She's made a great comeback this year, as we saw her today on vault and floor, posting great scores and great routines. She's a great leader and a good support to all of her teammates. And she will be graduating with a sports administration degree and is excited for her next step in her career.
These the 5 seniors for Ball State. Aaron Patchy, the final to be recognized. Angela Durkak, Kani Honorman, Denasia Christian, and Brooke Evans.
Oh, and we have Jonathan Newby, who has been with the Ball State gymnastics team for the past 4 years. He is the student manager, and he helps with some moving of mats, as we may have seen on floor, on vault, bars. He can help with possible spotting if needed in practice. He is a great person to have around and very supportive.
One of the unsung heroes of this program, certainly not one to receive all the recognition and have to face, but at the end of the day, one that helps keep this program moving along, and all the work that he has put in with these 5 seniors.
Definitely helped the seniors make it to this day and this year by moving those mats and placing them in the right position, because if they're misplaced or the bars aren't set correctly, things could go wrong and gymnasts could be injured. So his job isn't highlighted on, but it is very important to this team and helping them make it to their final year.
As the 5 seniors celebrate today's win over Bowling Green, Ball State receives their first conference win of the year, and it comes against the Bowling Green Falcons. Bowling Green will be back here in Worthen Arena in less than a month for the MAC Championships, as Worthen Arena will be the site and the host. They get their first look at Worthen Arena this year.
Yes, this is a very exciting meet, and it will be a very busy meet. There will be 7 teams, all teams from the MAC here, and it is very high energy with all teams competing on all apparatuses at once.
Ball State with the win today. Let's go downstairs with Alexis Williams. She is beside Ball State senior Denasia Christian.
Denasia, your family's here. It's senior night. How special has this meet been for you?
It's been incredible, especially with them not being here like the whole 4 years, and it's like the last whole meet, they're finally here. I actually got nervous today. I was like, oh my gosh, you're fine, calm down. You gotta calm down. But yeah, it's definitely an incredible feeling. It's good to actually have them here, and I know it's the same for my dad.
You came out victorious. What do you take from this meet moving forward?
I just hope we keep building from here up until MAC. We have 2 more meets until MAC, and I think that's going to be really good for us, because I feel like every meet has gotten a little bit better. So we haven't really had the wins that we would want, but I think we might be able to make up for that at MAC. So that's the goal.
Congratulations, and go out and celebrate with your family.
That is Denasia Christian with Alexis Williams. Denasia Christian with her final regular season meet of the year at Bowling Green. Ball State wins today over Bowling Green with their first conference win of the year. Christian taking the time to speak with us, a 2-time MAC floor champion, also an All-Mid-American Conference selection on the 2nd team last year. Ball State moves to 1-5 in the Mid-American Conference. Bowling Green, on the other hand, 0-4. This is a very good Bowling Green team that certainly will be a force to reckon with come the Mid-American Conference Championships.
Yes, it has, and they have been very consistent the last few meets with having a 195 final score, and they are going to be a definite force to be reckoned with once we come back to MAC. They may have had a few mistakes today, and Ball State certainly had a couple today, but they came out on top, and both teams fought to the end, which is really what it's all about.
Coach Salim is downstairs with our Alexis Williams following the win over Bowling Green.
Coach, I've seen happiness, I've seen tears, I've seen frustration. How proud of you of your team tonight?
Oh, really proud. It's exciting to see them come out and be able to go from the first routine to the end routine and just fighting through the whole time, not letting all those little mistakes or even some bigger mistakes kind of keep them down. So it's exciting to see.
You came out victorious. You know, season's coming to a home stretch. What does this victory do for your team's confidence?
I think it's really important knowing that this is the last MAC school that we compete against before we go into championships. It's exciting for them to know, okay, we can beat them, and we've been so close with all the other MAC schools this year that we're looking forward to a championship that's going to be very competitive, and knowing that if they stay with what they're supposed to be doing, we can come out at the end and be on the top. I think it's going to be, you know, really up to what team hits on MAC day that ends up being MAC champion.
Congratulations tonight, and go out and celebrate.
That's Coach Salim for Ball State, as Ball State with their first conference victory of the year. They improved to 1-5 in the Mid-American Conference. Ball State winners today. Today's Ball State Sports Link production was produced by Aaron Hepp and directed by J.C. Obringer. For Morgan Landis and Megan Peters, I'm Tyler Bradfield saying so long from Muncie, where Ball State earns their first conference win of the year and over a team in the top 35 in Bowling Green. To watch this entire meet on replay as well as other games in our families of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN.